2022 was a year that I read some books, I went some places, and I realized I still don't know what I want to do with my life. 2022 was a pretty interesting year for me. In some ways, it was the best year of my life, and in others, it was just plain odd. My theme for 2022 is escapism. I use things and places to get away from my normal life. So really, this video gets broken down into 3 sections: the way I escaped, the things I actually did, and my plan for 2023. So the main way I escaped my day-to-day life was through entertainment. This was through shows and video games, or through a bunch of books. Some books like Skyward, which is this awesome story about a girl trying to avenge this misconception of her father. It's about aerial combat in space, so much fun. But then there's a book like Midnight Library, which is about a girl who doesn't know what she wants with her life, and so she's given the opportunity to visit all the other versions of her life and all the other multiverses so she can see which one she actually wants. And then lastly, one of my favorite movies of all time, Ready Player One. This book dove so much deeper into this world. It's a lot more brutal in the way it portrays the world, and that part's really interesting. So definitely really 3 good books I read this year. I mean, when it comes to some good TV I've seen, I'll give you 2 good ones I like this year. White Lotus, fantastic. The premise is it's a very rich hotel, and you get to experience the lives of these rich people for about a week. And then Andor, such an amazing Star Wars story. It's one of my favorite looks into the universe that isn't a mainline story. Even if you just like the world, which I do, it's a great show to watch. And then, of course, I left video games last because, oh man, I played some good video games this year. One of my favorite ones was Tunic, this awesome Zelda-like game. It was so much fun. I put so many hours into it. But then other big ones like the new God of War, or finally getting around to hopefully finishing The Last of Us 2. So all these movies, these games, these worlds allowed me to escape my day-to-day life. So this year wasn't all bad. It actually was one of the most successful years I've ever had. I was really successful personally in a lot of different areas. And one of the big ones is, a lot of you already know this, but this year I got engaged.
I love you so freaking much. I love every adventure we get to take and everything we do together. Katie, will you marry me?
I asked Katie to marry me last April, and we're gonna be married this April. So I'm super excited for that. I love our relationship. I love how we work together, and I'm really excited to grow together as a couple. I'm gonna continue growing for years and years to come. But other than that, there's actually been a lot of other stuff happening. One thing is, I haven't been really vocal about, is I've been going through a weight loss program. I've lost about 45 pounds right now. I feel great. I feel more like myself. I actually weigh less than I did when I graduated high school, which is really weird to think about and kind of weird for me to comprehend, but it's good. Another big thing, and if you know me, I love to travel, is I got to travel a bunch. One of the biggest ones was Flagstaff with 12 of my best friends. It was a ton of fun, very stressful, but so much fun, and a trip I will never forget. Hopefully I'll have a video done pretty soon. I have a ton of footage from it. But it should be a really cool video. I'm really excited to see the final version of that, just because it shows how traveling with that many people actually goes. But then there was a bunch of other trips as well, and a lot of these are quick weekend trips or things happening. So I ended up going to New Orleans for a bachelor party, Fort Lauderdale, both in January and October. I got to go to a country concert up near Lima, a lot of good country artists. I went to Chicago with some friends, went to Cleveland to see some friends, and then one of my favorite trips, got to go to New York City to see Hamilton on Broadway. Oh, I forgot we did that this year. It was so much fun. I love that show, and getting to see it in New York, oh, it was so cool. And then of course, going to Indianapolis to help my brother move in and all that stuff surrounding that. So I actually got to travel a lot more than I realized I did this year. It was so much fun. I got to do some work travel as well, but all of these were more fun and for my enjoyment. But then, of course, there were some weddings this year. I had 2 of my best friends get married, got to enjoy their weddings. So when I look back on this year, it made me feel super happy. All these trips and events and things that I did are so much fun and make me feel like I actually did something this year. And when I first started this to now, I actually thought this year wasn't a great year. But now reflecting and looking back and realizing, hey, you did a lot this year, makes me feel so good and so happy about what 2022 means to me. So when I think about what I'm looking forward to in 2023, the one thing I realized from this year is that I love what I do. I get to create videos and tell stories for a living. And I'm really living the dream I had back in high school and college, doing video for a corporation. But I am just now realizing that every dream comes at a cost. And the cost for this dream is I don't make videos for myself. When I do this 40 plus hours a week, I don't want to come home and make videos. I want to come home and do anything but that. So next year, I want to focus on finding ways of bringing that back in. And really that leads me to the bigger question. What is next for Austin? I'm living the dream I wanted. I'm in the goal I had. So what's next? That's what 2023 is going to be, is sitting down, redefining those roles, and figuring out what exactly I want to do with my life. And I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited to be married. I'm just really excited for the next step in my life, the next step in our relationship, and really the next step in my career. So I'm super excited for 2023. I hope you are too. It's going to be a great year. Let me know what your New Year's resolutions are down below. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.